Do you know what agreements you've made in your life? Actually, your life revolves around agreements. Let me explain. Hello, this is Katya, and I hope you're having an amazing start to your day. As children, we don't get the opportunity to choose our beliefs. Instead, they are passed on to us by our parents, our educators, people who are close to us, society, and we agree to what's passed on to us. And when we agree, these become our beliefs. We adopt them. Now, what are those agreements about? They're beliefs about how the world works, who we are, or rather who we should be, how we should behave. And sometimes they're what we need to do to survive emotionally, to cope with challenges that we may experience when we're really young. But most times they're what we need to do to be accepted, to be acknowledged, to be appreciated, to be loved. And that's our reward for keeping the agreements. It's acceptance, love, belonging. And we learn to seek that reward, to do what's necessary for that. Don Miguel Ruiz, in his book, The Four Agreements, I cannot recommend it enough, calls this process the domestication of humans. Essentially, it's what happened to us when we're confronted with social conditioning in our families, our societies, our cultures. Now, last week I talked about reflecting on who we were as a child versus who we are today, and notice if there are any patterns or any contrasts or anything that's missing. Now, there's the essential us, pure, unadulterated, innocent, the child us, who we are at our core, right? Our essence. And then there are all the layers of conditioning that are laid upon us, one after the other, over the years. Those are the agreements. And slowly, we kind of lose track of who we really are, what we really want, what we believe, what we feel, what is ours, not someone else's life, someone else's story, someone else's belief. And when that happens, when we lose touch with who we are, when we forget, we are not really in our power. We are not living authentically. I like to call this domestication a caging process because we gradually create a cage for ourselves to live in. Now, this conditioned set of beliefs shapes everything in our lives. It shapes how we see ourselves, how we see others, how we see our relationships, you know, how we see the world. And these beliefs are so deep and often not fully conscious that they stay with us. They become second nature and through our adulthood and beyond. And they will stay with us forever unless we become conscious of them and choose to adopt a different set of beliefs. I call this the uncaging process. Now, for Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of the Four Agreements, this happens when we break our previous agreements, the ones we've taken on from the outside, and we adopt the four agreements he describes in his book. And I'd love to talk about those another time. But for this week, I'll share with you some powerful tools for uncaging, which have changed my life, and I've witnessed them change the lives of my clients. We'll talk about fulfillment and knowing what's important to us. More tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.